and welcome to another episode of Pause for Payments. I'm Kristy Duncan. I'm delighted to be chatting today with two amazing women from Worldline. Eglantine Delmas, CRO, Head of Risk Management, Security and Quality at Worldline, and Anne-Catherine Unger, Head of HR Global Business Line Merchant Services at Worldline. Both Eglantine and Anne-Catherine are based in Paris. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are very pleased to be with you today as well.
Excellent. Today, we are going to explore the topic of shaping the future of work in the payments industry. And a lot of people are wondering what the heck our work lives are going to look like going forward. Life as we know it has changed dramatically because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And with it, the workforce has been coping to adapt to many, many changes. We all know this. We're living it still in our day-to-day lives. Lockdowns have certainly given us new perspectives on work, on family, on digitization, on innovation, a whole bunch of things. It seems our whole lives have been turned upside down, but now we've got an opportunity to reshape the future going forward. Eglantine, can we start the discussion by talking a little bit about Worldline and your role there?
Yes, so Worldline is a global payment company, so number one in Europe, and now counting more than 20,000 people following the integration of Ingenico. So it's quite a big actor in payments, a tech leader and a payment leader as well, obviously in this new digital world. So we are in a very consolidating market with an important integration path, because we have been acquiring a lot of companies in the last 5 years and growing a lot as other actors in the payment industry. So, and in this organization, I'm in charge instead of risk management, security and quality, with a team that is for the entire organization, making sure that we reassure our customers, our stakeholders, our internal stakeholders as well, on our capacity to ensure trust and to secure the business overall.
Yes, because without trust, we have nothing.
Exactly.
It's a big job. And Anne-Catherine, can you tell us about your role at Worldline?
With pleasure, Kristy. So I am the HR director of a global business line named Merchant Services. And so it's, I would say, the biggest GBL of Worldline at the moment, because it's a result of the consolidation of many people coming from Ingenico. Half of it, in fact, comes from Ingenico, so more than 3,000 people. And 3,000 people plus are coming from former Worldline organization. So maybe I would like to tell you some words about this integration, because here it starts with how we integrate people and the diversity, because it's one of the topic of women in payments, and we wanted with Eglantine to talk to you about the pre-integration program that we have run for the Ingenico integration. And on this, we have worked together with Eglantine and many business leaders on what we have called a nomination process that has been really fair and balanced. And we measure the KPIs all along the process to ensure that we had a really high level of women, different nationalities, really well balanced between former Ingenico and former Worldline. So this is, I would say, how it started with Ingenico pre-integration.
Because what may be interesting to add on this is that it was two, similar companies in the number of people. So it's 10,000 in both sides. So a merger between people, between companies that are in the same size. And something that we probably discussed afterwards as well, it was during at the beginning of the COVID period. So it was integrating two companies with, the same level of people, with a target to really make sure that we have, as in our DNA, diversity, inclusion, that we take very seriously the way to make sure that people are treated fairly in this integration, as well as keeping the right experts in our organization in a world where we were already in COVID times, so working from home and not being able to see each other.
Such a huge challenge. And here you are a year into it. The good news is that we're slowly starting to emerge from this COVID crisis. And you are leaders at Worldline, which is, of course, now such a global organization, as you say, with 20,000 employees. Is there a new normal and perhaps something in particular that we should take into account regarding what we expect to see our new normal work to be in the future? And how might that apply not only to Worldline, but to the payments industry as a whole?
So the new normal for us, will be really in the balance between remote working and working in the facilities. So maybe first you have to know that in Worldline, we have been engaged since 2010 in working remotely. So we have been really a pioneer in putting in place remote working in our organization worldwide. So when COVID times happened, we were, I would say, lucky to be already used to do a lot of remote working. What was really difficult was we were not able to meet at any time, so it was fully remote for as everyone. So it was really difficult. But now what we want for the future, the new normal, will be really in the right balance, being, I would say, half time at home and half time in the office, ideally, to really enjoy human time as well in the office, not only being efficient behind the laptop and delivering. I think working remotely has no impact on efficiency. We have demonstrated that during the COVID times, but it really touched, I would say, the best part of work, which is the human part, the moment of coffee with colleagues, the smiles, the laugh, So this is what we would like to have again, social times, human time at work in the facilities.
Yeah, I agree. Humans are social beings. We need that social interaction to build the relationships and to build the trust. And yes, of course, we can work on our laptops and get work done, but it's not the whole picture. Eglantine, did you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I think what is important to mention is that we are seeing now that our teams are willing to come back to the office, but in a balanced way. So as Anne-Catherine was saying, we are now implementing a 50-50 a policy where people can stay at home 50% and work in the offices 50%. Of course, we are tailoring that country by country because depending on the situation vis-a-vis the COVID, but also the local legislation, we adapt to that. But overall, we make sure that we have this balance between work-life between work from home and work from the office, but also between work and other life experiences, and making sure that we have the right balance between those two. So the main messages from the organization in this new way of working, as you were saying, is definitely to have this balance. It is a requirement or request from our teams that we see emerging more and more. So we are making sure that we take that into account. We also are very attentive to our experts and our talents in the organization, because we also see that in this new normal, we have seen the last trends in the industry overall is that there is a digital war for talents. And obviously you have two phenomena. We have one, which is the high level of attrition post-COVID, because people are starting to move in the different entities, and we also see the high requirements from our teams to get recognized and to have to fuel their expertise. So there's two things that we are also trying to take into account in this new normal.
It's a brave new world, and we're all navigating it. It's new for everybody. That's the good news. And we won't all get it 100% right at the very beginning on day one, but hopefully we're able to adjust as we go forward, and we learn what how people are productive and able to manage in this new world. Because I think not everybody loves working from home. There's lots of people who would rather be in the office at least part of the time, because they've got distractions at home, or they have a tiny place at home that doesn't accommodate an office. So lots of reasons to want to get back into the office. So we talked about how Worldline's navigating this. How do you see the future of work in the industry in the long term? How are you supporting the future of work longer term with Worldline? Or is that even a fair question at this point?
Would you like to start, Eglantine, or would you want me to start?
So I can start. What we saw with Anne-Catherine is that there are several different trends or different answers to this question. The first one is linked to the new leadership skills and the way people have to navigate this new world, because obviously we have less face-to-face meetings, we have less travel, so we need to navigate and be able to work with new soft skills in adapting on how to engage when we have not seen someone, when we need to work in groups, not together physically present. So these are all new skills that internally we have defined some plans to train our teams to do that and to facilitate that for the teams. And at the same time, we also see the requirement, as I was saying, from our experts to have more and more engagements with the rest of the expertise communities in our companies and outside our companies to really grow their knowledge and to make sure they're always up to date, because the technology and the way of working is evolving. So I would say these are two trends that we definitely see in the market and that we try internally to make sure we have the right tools to accompany and support our teams. And also we take that into account in the recruitment campaigns to make the transition maybe with Anne-Catherine's feedback as well.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Eglantine. So we are hiring many people at the moment, thousands of people, in fact, at the moment in Worldline. And of course, we would like to hire a talented woman. You know, woman is really important for us. We want to grow our women. We have really ambitious plans for the women. You know, we want for our CSR plan, which is called Trust 2025, that 35% of the women to have 35% of women in managerial positions. Voilà, so that's a huge ambition, because at the moment we hire about 40% of women in the group, and we have really thousands of offerings. And we think that really with the new world, the emotional intelligence and all the soft skills that might be more important in a woman's life can really be an asset for the women to reach the top level positions. So don't hesitate. If I can give our website, jobs.worldline.com, to have a look, or to reach Eglantine or myself, and we are more than happy to deep dive with you on the open positions.
Well, you know what you're saying, I've heard it from so many organizations that with this great resignation of 2021 and there's a huge war for talent, and it's global in nature. It's not just in one country or continent, it's all over the world. And the explosion of fintech is causing a huge, spike in demand, and they're stealing from the incumbents, and the incumbents are, scrambling. So it's a really tough labor market globally, especially in payments and technology. And but I think you're absolutely right, Anne-Catherine. Women can add a whole lot of value with their EQ and their soft skills and their empathy, which are, I don't want to say skills that men don't have, but women tend to have them to a greater degree. So we like those skills in our leadership teams, absolutely. We're at the close of our discussion, and it's been an absolutely wonderful discussion. And I want to ask you both a question that I always ask our guests on Pause Repayments, and I'm sure you'll both have fantastic answers. And my question is, if you were giving career advice to one of the rising stars in our audience, what would that be? Would you like to start, Anne-Catherine?
With pleasure. To accomplish your career goals through your personal wishes as well. You know that our personal wishes are embedded into our career accomplishment. So we are fully in accomplishment, not only with our professional goals, but also on who we want to be, who we want to become, what kind of person we want to be, and what we want to achieve also at personal level. And here I think it's a real success story.
I love that. So combining your career and personal goals to be life goals. That's very, very smart. Not focus on one or the other. Do them both. Eglantine.
On my side, I would say, do not be afraid and act according to your values, but also speak up. I think most of the time, what I hear from women I'm working with or that I'm coaching is, I do not dare to do this or that, or I'm not legitimate to do this or that. And I think that this is definitely something we need to work on. We are legitimate, we have good ideas, we have good reasoning, and we just need to dare to speak up, to be resilient in making sure we pursue our goals. So this would be really an advice, not to be afraid and really dare to speak.
I think I love that. And it's so true. It rings very true with me that I see women, myself included, who have this imposter syndrome that, you know, I'm not good enough, or my voice doesn't count. It's not worth listening to. So you're absolutely right. We do need to speak up and not be afraid to be counted and have our voices heard. And we are worthy, and we can be very resilient. I think women are very, very resilient. So we need to draw on that in our careers sometimes too.
And I would like to add something else. And sorry, you said only one thing, but I think it's also important to get mentors. And I think that asking for advice and looking for advice internally or externally is really also what can make a big difference. Do not be afraid to ask for advice, to make sure you get the right mentor or someone that would be supporting you internally again or externally. It makes a huge difference. So this would be a second advice that I think is really important.
Well, I love that. Thank you for that. And I'll do a little plug for Women in Payments. We do have a global mentorship program that we run twice a year. It's a year-long program, and we match amazing women leaders from around the world of payments, like you, Eglantine, and like you, and Catherine. And we invite mentees to sign up or to be sponsored by their organizations to participate. So that mentorship is really powerful, and it empowers young women. And it's a great learning experience too for the mentors. We get this reverse mentoring effect where they can learn from the younger generation. They can learn about their corporate culture, perhaps adjust the corporate culture to be more welcoming and supportive of the younger generation. So it's a win-win on all sides.
Exactly. I fully agree.
This has been a fabulous discussion. Thank you both for sharing. I love where you're going with the 50-50 program, work from home and work from the office. I love the training. I need some of this training to reconfigure my work life with less travel and less face-to-face collaboration. But how do we be effective in this 50-50 world, this hybrid world? Wanting to get more women into leadership roles at all of our organizations. So that's good news for the women, and we shouldn't be afraid to speak up and apply for those exciting roles that we think we might, but maybe not be qualified for. If you don't put your name in the hat, you'll never know.
Exactly.
So thank you both for your fantastic expertise and wisdom and sharing your strategies going forward.
Thank you, Kristy, for bringing us the opportunity. Yes. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
It's been a lovely discussion. Thank you, everybody. And thank you to our audience. I encourage you all to join our Pause for Payments events that we do every week with amazing women from around the world of payments like Eglantine and Catherine. And tune in and learn from inspirational leaders and women from around the world of payments.